Hey guys, I'm Mike Gordon, and about Perfect Playthrough 50, I'm kind of sick at the moment, so it's gonna be a while before I'm ready to start uploading. I am almost done with the game, but I can't be recording anymore. I can't record any more episodes of that game at the time. And I also want to work on my introductory video, and I don't want to do that when I'm sick. So since Final Fantasy VI was in a book circa September 24th, 2023, I decided in the meantime to do something a little different, a little fun, if you will. Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling Book. Uh, no, I'm not doing a perfect playthrough. It's a browser. It's basically a browser, not an actual video game. There are no NPCs. So, I want to show something off here because I'm a diehard Yu-Gi-Oh fan, and even though I have not posted anything on this lately, I just want to show this off to you guys, just for old time's sake. Yeah. And Epic Gore is actually, a lot of places, is actually my username or my alias. Whereas on YouTube, it's Perfect Playthroughs, Mike Gordon. The reason for the name Epic Gordon is it's actually twofold. Number one, there are a lot of places where you can't use something that resembles a name like Mike Gordon. Second of all, Epic is pretty much supposed to be reference to my aspirations, which is to write epic fantasy. Bit of trivia, but the name Mike Gordon actually comes from the word two different words. Mike, which is abbreviation for Michael, as in the Archangel, and Gordon is literally an anagram for dragon. See, just rearrange the letters, you get the word dragon. So, I honestly feel really proud for this because I've actually dueled against some pretty good heavyweights there. And this was after weeks, if not months, of frustration trying to get to this summit. And man, Goat 4 at weekly number 69, how sweet it is. Nothing else because it's 69. So first duel was Tripod Plays Goat versus Epic Goran. That Tripod Plays Goat was a no-show, so that's out. So my first duel came in the quarterfinals. That's fine. That's nice. As a side note, the guy was a newbie, so I don't think I would have struggled that badly against him. So my first opponent right off the bat is Drac is the Motto, and who, like me, is a warrior specialist. And I won the pivotal rock, paper, scissors challenge. So I look at my hand for a bit, and I realize I don't have a lot of good plays, so I just do Blade Knight and Torrential. And he's already decked in high gear with traps. Just gonna spring him. And I already know what he's got. At least half of what he's got. Bring on the dish shoots. And judgments. And honestly, it probably would have hurt me more if it was like Breaker or Don Zalug. Heck, Breaker especially would have hurt. So all I do is just spring all of his traps. Heavy Storm for Solemn. Breaker for Torrential. I go premature to bring back Blade Knight. I attack Saku. I just go all out aggressive on this guy because I was about to render this guy completely one-dimensional. And luckily I top deck Kaiku. And then he top deck Slashing Ground, because of course he did. But luckily it's just Mystic Sword, so level 2, sorry, with 900 attack points. I draw Tri-Effective Virus. I know I can get over it, but I don't know what his face down is. Our trap does shoot, but if it's another Saku or whatever, it could prove dangerous. So, drawing Exile Force here made me a little confident about bringing Tribe onto the field, as I don't feel the need to hold on to it anymore. Plus, I need to gain some level of momentum. I need to keep Drac responding to my plays. And he doesn't. Oh, guess he can't get over it. That's why he doesn't activate premature. So I just attack and just hope for the best. I can't do anything. I know I could be in big trouble if I don't do something, if I don't bolster my field, so I set Blade Knight in defense mode. I don't know why I forgot that I already used that Torrential Tribute. I mean, Ring of Destruction is not of any help. So he just brings back Mystic Sword Level 2 because because the face down spooks him or something. And I just attack. Now Drac, alongside his opponent in the first round, were probably the two heavy favorites to win this tournament. Going into this. So I definitely need to respect my opponent a little bit. But I also needed to know, I needed to pick apart his brain a bit. He's no joke. So he set Saku and Torrential Tribute. So honestly, it's probably a little scarier for warriors to set 2 traps at the beginning than 4. Because with 4, I was just checking repeatedly in case he has Dust Shoot. He doesn't. And I also want to check for his Solemn Judgment. He doesn't have Solemn. So I just attack with Don Zalug, obviously. I probably just set Nobleman as like a scapegoat or something. So on Summon, Torrential. Oh yeah, he sees Umbra in the dark, which I sighted in. And now I just attack him directly and I pick off BLS. I felt so glad at the time, but then I realized that was probably just a brick. I mean, I could have picked up, and when I picked apart Snatch Steal, I would have won this match right then and there, but wasn't meant to be. And I wanted to pick off Mobius. And he picked off Kaiku. So I already know. And worse yet, Yep. So bad place to be, man. I already used on my pot of greed as well, so it's not like I could maybe draw another 2 cards. I could go graceful. But right now, Drax's the one pulling all the strings. He sees no use for exile, so he just nukes my bluff. That's Haxley. I go ring because that's the only sensible solution here. So it's my turn to be one-dimensional. Try to bluff, Dust Tornado. He top decks. And before I continue on to game 3, I just want to take a note. While I was busy siding, I just gotta do next play, and no one has yet to actually finish. I'm struggling siding, and I'm looking at Drake, it's like, why is he taking so long? And it occurred to me that Drac is honestly overthinking things with a side deck op. When it comes to side, he overthinks a lot. So I look at it, and normally my thing is I just like to wait around till my opponent finishes siding. So I came with an idea. Instead of siding in counters to potentially deal with this strategy, only to risk getting potentially outplayed as a result, I decided, fuck it, I'm resetting to the default. I'm using the original deck I used for game 1. Let's go. Let's go. It's definitely a risk, but I'm pretty sure I did something like this before against Drac. I'm pretty sure I can pull it off again. Great hand, by the way. Takes me a while to see it, but I see what cards I want to play. The Six Swordsman, set, Book of Moon, and both Dust Shoots. And I have a Six Swordsman out, so he can attack into it. Since I have 2 Dust Shoots, I immediately activate my first one. In case of something like Heavy or MST here, or Pot of Greed, Graceful. I want to, Breaker. I want to take all those into account. So I took into account, okay, reinforces the army. I want to send, if he has reinforces the army, I want to send back DD Warrior Lady. See if he chases after it, or goes for something else. So he does go for reinforcements of the army. He chooses Blade Knight. Interesting. And that's what I want to see. MST on Trap Dust Shoot. I activate Dust Shoot since he has exactly 4 cards left. He tripped my trap. That is my favorite. That is my favorite trap trip. My favorite activation of Trap Dust Shoot. Oh, I gotta pop it. Oh, nope. Boom. Dust Shoot. Now, I almost thought about sending Blade Knight back just to mess with them. But those 2 judgments, I'm like, I'm gonna just keep toying with them. I want to win this duel badly, so I just gotta play mind games with them. So I summon Kaiku first. trips Solemn Judgment. So, sorry, track. So, he top decks Mystic Swords level 2. So, sacking it probably was worth letting it drop. Then again, it was probably good that he didn't solemn the sack, because then I would have won this turn. Oh well, 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns. Doesn't matter. I just feel so... I just feel so glad I actually won a tournament at last. So he just top decked another Solemn Judgment, and I figure the first card is nothing, so I just keep attacking with it. Sure enough, I won with Mystic Swords of level 2 plus a couple of Solemns on his end. So let's move on to this. So I'm almost tempted to go over all the other duels in the tournament, but if I did, it would be like 3 hours long, so I'm just gonna skip to the semifinals. Epic Goran versus Lionheart. I've had dueled Lionheart quite a bit in these tournaments. Like, Dueling Book really loves seeding me with him a ton. So it's kind of amazing that we didn't that we got to duke it out in the semifinals this time. Oops. That's... Unfortunately, I lost that game of rock, paper, scissors, and clearly he has the net advantage. Pot agreed, and unfortunately that's where it ends. So he has to think about what would his ideal starting move be. Saying in MST, that's it. I'm just checking for dust shoots, so... And judgments. Because Lionheart uses Solemn Judgments, Ring of Destruction, Injection Fairy Lily, and things like and stuff like that, I realize that he likes to just spill out a ton of life points. And I take the bold risk of just banishing Sangan and not allowing it to. Because I don't know if he has Fairy Lily in the hand or not. So I'm like, I ain't chancing it. Probably should have let him go with it. Because... yeah, it wouldn't matter. Torrential Tribute, so it turned out to be free. And this is where I made a grave miscalculation. I should have... What? Yeah, I would have done Don Saluk here. Yeah, I would have... I would have done Delinquent Duo, Graceful Charity, and then perform whatever moves I needed. Instead, I just pass over any top decks duo. They like to roll to just randomly pick a card, but really, you just have to just randomly pick a card without looking at it in order to get it. So I don't know what the dice rolls are for. So now I'm left playing one-dimensionally. And unfortunately, he has a light and a dark monster in his graveyard. So, here's BLS. And I don't even get Injection Fairy Lily. And oh yeah, he still gets a normal summon. And BLS can attack twice. So that's 4,000 right there. If he has any more monster with 800 attack points or more, it's over. You didn't even need a set because that duel was long gone. Alright, so I look at my hand and I know I need to just set the 2 cards face down because I don't have any good options to just summon straight out. And he has Mataza Zapper, so big damage right off the bat. I wait till he gets into his battle phase, and for some reason, unless I spell it out of the text, and I sometimes don't do this, he will literally just pull the card back into his hand, and that's very confusing. I decide I'm just gonna get rid of Injection Fairy Lily. This guy top decks Fairy Lily in all 3 duels. That is insane amount of luck right there, especially since Fairy Lily is limited to 1 in GOAT format. It is that dang powerful. So I just take the 2600. I ain't gonna use Judgment on Mataza. I know what he has in his hand, and I ain't gonna do it. You know, Lionheart is attempting to play mind games with the wave motion cannon. And I'm thinking instead that he's got Judgment, perhaps anticipating that this is a heavy, or maybe that he wants to bait out heavy. Anyways, I have Blade Knight that I want to get to 2,000 attack. And I want to at least make him feel comfortable that, no, I don't have heavy. And I attack into him. I completely blank that he has Mirror Force. But that's fine, because he never activated it. So it's just a little mind game. Just little mind games here and there. Because even though I blanked on Mirror Force, I just have to get aggressive. And I find out that this face down was a bluff. It was Wave Motion Cannon. But now that I have a bunch of set cards, he feels comfortable setting his cards down. So I just nuke the field. Yeah, I had to give up Mirror Force and Nobleman, but you know what? It was worth it. Just like that, I said gotcha. I wanted him to trip. I wanted him to activate Solemn Judgment, so I could trip all his traps and clean him out. I have an Exile Force in my hand, so no matter what unless he top decked BLS again, and even then I would have 700 life points left. I knew I had this duel in the bag. So, Exile Force. That was a miss. That was like a misclick there, but the point still stands. He never really got to see any of my side options like King Tiger, Wangu, or Spirit Reaper. And we are just having some friendly banter. I think we can fancy Lionheart and Drac as good dueling buddies at this point, since we see each other so often in these weekly tourneys. Yeah, I love goats too. You know what I like? I like cats. Maybe I should consider Maybe after winning with goats, winning with warriors, I should dabble into to rescue cat or something. I don't know. Could be fun. Immediately top deck with Noble. This is a pretty busted hand I have here. But I have to be a little cautious. And I definitely know King Tiger Wangu is the way to go. Don't want to deal with Fairy Lily. I've completely... apart from game 1 where Fairy Lily... where he never even bothers summoning Fairy Lily in game 1. Now here I have a decision to make. I could set my trap cards, and they are pretty powerful trap cards, all things considered, and just toy with them a little, and then run the risk of getting hit by both heavy and duo, since this is so early in the duel, that I have no hope of recovering, especially since I know that Lionheart has the potential to just swarm me and just overpower me in one fell swoop. Like, all kinds of crazy shenanigans are brewing. Or I could hold firm and just trust I don't lose the next turn. Well, I chose to take my chances, so I left my back row empty. Because that way I avoid heavy, and if he top decks duo, well, at least it's only 50-50 chance of getting something that could turn things around. But I'd still have options. So he can't summon Fairy Lily, because if he does, it gets nuked. That's a normal summon wasted, because King Tiger Wangu destroys all monsters with 1400 or less attack points as soon as they hit the field. Now, you can still flip summon a low attack monster and not get popped by King Tiger Wangu, but it definitely helps to control the game state. So he gets Snatch Steal. Luckily he doesn't get Jinzo, but it wouldn't have mattered. And he sets a monster down. I have a hunch that face down card is Solemn Judgment, because this guy tends to get... It's very easy to just activate Solemn Judgment. Probably should have just given up the back row, given what's about to happen, but... oh well. Solemn Judgment... He played right into my trap. I just had to do the math in my head, and I realized, wait a minute, I don't need to stall this guy out. I can win right now. First, I drop Spirit Reaper, pop my own Tiger Wangu. Then, I drop Mirror Force, pop Reflect Bounder. So no burn damage. He has less than 1600 life points left. I set Ring of Destruction. And I tell him good game. He knows what it was. So, yep. So, my best dueling and forward thinking. Yep, back in the final. Definitely was happy to declare that. So, Epic Gordon versus Helsing. I have not been in any serious competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Since 2005, 2006, I would say. I basically dropped out of Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2006 for a couple reasons. Uh-oh. The final duel of the GOAT Weekly 69. Will I win my first tournament? My first tournament in 18 years? Well, so far so good. I won the rock, paper, scissors and got to go first. Helsing is a Chaos Turbo Duelist. One of the two big staples of the format. So, it is always going to go to draw first blood against them and potentially shut down their engine. Interestingly enough, the card destruction is probably a more vital piece to his engine than the card I chose, but, well, it appears that he has some pretty strong cards. As a side, because I popped Nobleman Across out, I felt safe setting DD Warrior Lady. Now he popped on Salug, and while I could probably benefit by keeping Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer, I ultimately decided to just throw him out. At that point, because I felt that Nobleman of Crossup would be a much bigger help for me. I also realized he didn't set any cards down, which tells me those two cards are monster cards. I also had a hunch that, and I shuffle my deck. I always shuffle my deck after I pop a flip effect, even if I don't have it. And he shuffles his deck. He's basically trying to not draw attention to a very glaring problem with his hand. That he can't do anything. So all I could do was set. I could attack with Mystic Swordsman, but I don't want to get blown up. So I pop him with Mystic Swordsman level 2. Because it's face down, of course I'm going to do it. And this is when I realized he had chaos. His hand consisted pretty much entirely of chaos monsters. I didn't know if he had another spell card or a monster, but at the very least he had two chaos monsters in his hand. So I knew I had to be a little bit more aggressive here. So I bought him for 2,900. I could have done Call of Haunted to bring back Kaiku for 800. But the reason I didn't was because I knew I wasn't going to win this turn. Alright, so I do know that between Blade Knight and Ninja, I knew that I would win. So I switched Mystic Swords to level 2 to Vince because of Mirror Force. Smart play on my part. I did Blade Knight first, and I'm like, wait a minute. Holy crap, I just realized something. I just had to remind myself that he has Chaos Monsters as Heon, so I went with Kaiku. Would have been nice to pop them with Don Zalug. Yeah, I didn't do Don Zalug because if I popped BLS, then he would just get out Chaos Sorcerer. And I knew he had two Chaos Monsters in his hand. That's just a matter of fact. So I just go for game, just all out. And he clears out my field. I knew he had Chaos Sorcerer, but I was not going to risk getting bodied by Chaos. But it didn't matter because Thunder Dragons. But I had options to deal with BLS, and that's all that matters. Now, I thought long and hard that maybe those face downs could be dangerous. And we're starting to get in my little head a little, but I still felt confident that I could, at the very least, take out BLS. I did not eat, and the reason why I was so cautious was because one of his face downs could be Torrential Tribute. So he's definitely playing the mind games here. But right now, he has no monsters. I gotta get aggressive. Try Infecting Virus is the way to go. I set my own trap card down just to contribute with the mind games. There's Faith. And I know I have a shot at beating him. Unless he has MST, which he doesn't. I exiled it. And that's it. Called the... Showed great boldness there, but that's what it takes to win one of these. Can't get cold feet. You either win or you lose. You just have to... That's just the way it is. Lightning Vortex. Alright, I saw Lightning Vortex go in the graveyard and Chaos Sorcerer, so I was happy to see those two cards gone. Because that's one less Chaos. Chaos Turbos normally don't play Call the Haunted or Premature Burial. And the reason they don't is because they're bricks. I popped Heavy, really good one. And he got rid of Faith. I knew he had Dark Chaos Sorcerer and Faith in the graveyard, so I immediately knew what I was getting into. I summoned S6 Swords level 2 and just go straight for it. And I set Heavy as like a little bluff. See if he sets a bunch of stuff down as well. And unfortunately, I was right. It was BLS. And he was just gonna attack me. Hit me hard for 5,900. 5,100. But I popped Torrential Tribute. However, I had to think about this. Because I figure if I were to do Mystic Swords level 2 to try to shield myself, he would just pop, banish it, and switch it to defense mode. And I decided to do a little good game bluff. And then Mirror Force him. Ooh, reinforces the army. Yeah, that was a lucky draw for me there. Don't have to rely on Mystic Swordsman. And man, this duel is definitely going to be something to see. Helsing's a little confused because I said good game, and then tripped him with Mirror Force. And then he used Karibo, I'm guessing it as a counter to Don Zalug. I let Helsing know that I was bluffing with the good game. But even so, I am almost out of life points. If he takes out Mystic Swords level 2, I'm as good as dead. Thank God I took out my BLS. That is that is the biggest shame of all. That BLS is the one monster in my main deck that never saw action in this tournament. It was the one monster that got pushed and shoved around like a rag doll. And I decided that I was just gonna mill this guy out. And I snagged Ring of Destruction. I snagged Chaos Sorcerer, but I got something real good. And yeah, I'm not dealing a ton of life damage long term, but I have to play the long game. I was having some technical difficulties there, so I wanted to course correct. Play, I attack straight into it, and I have a mill another 2. Alright, okay, I just wanted to check. I didn't knock Faith or anything. Now, at this point, he knows he needs to draw something, and he definitely reason to feel a little confident. He has a huge life point advantage. Though mine's going back up to a healthy enough level as is. And here is probably the first of 2 crucial mistakes that he's made. Perhaps due to how much damage Don Saluk has done, he pretty much sets sights on making sure it never came back. Honestly, that was the complete wrong move. That and the snatch deals giving each other 1,000 life points. He probably don't want that. So I go reinforces the army, and honestly, he probably should have just gone for Mystic Swords level 2. So that's all I could do. I keep my monster in attack mode, because God forbid and just hope for the best. And he top decks Thunder Dragons. The absolute worst time for a Chaos Turbo Duelist to draw into 1. Especially since 3 out of maybe 4 Chaos monsters. Turbo Duelists probably generally see 3 as the right number. Not too bricky there. So now, the paradigm shift begins here. You top deck Sakaratsu Armor, and I have Tri-Infecting Virus, and I've got a light bulb hovering above my head right now. Tri-Infecting Virus, Premature Burial, Exiled Force. I'm gonna bully this guy with a card that he has to now dance around. With no Mirror Force, no Lightning Vortex, no Torrential Tribute, and he takes apart Breaker. Okay. Now you have to deal with Tribe popping your monsters. Hers based on type. You have to take on Exile Force popping your monsters regardless of position. And you have to deal with Mystic Source level 2 popping set monsters. And I double check his graveyard. I just have to double check, because I know he doesn't have any options left. Whatever face down card he has is single target destruction. An 82 combination of or Jar Greed and 82 combinations of cards will deal enough life point damage to win me the duel. Unless it's like Scapegoats or Threatening War or Call of the Haunted. And Chaos Turbos normally don't play Call of the Haunted or Premature Burial because they're bricks in the turbo engine. Yeah, I meant good game 2. I think the only thing that could have saved him was Tribe Infecting Virus. It wasn't because Helsing has quit. I've won the tournament. And with that, I finally won my first tournament in 18 years. So, what'd you guys think? Thinking about retiring this deck real soon. Maybe if I win a bit more consistently with this deck, then I will definitely retire it and move on to something else. You know, I'm thinking picking up a Rescue Cat deck. That could be fun. So you guys think? You want to see more of these? Like every Sunday or something until Perfect Playthrough 50 is ready to go? If you do, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Also, for all you guys on Dueling Book, shout out to Drac is the motto. Lionheart, Helsing, Viva. Let's see. I wanna try to Viva Cristo, Tripod Plays Goat, I am user A7, TJ91, Athy Ralph, I believe is the pronunciation, JackSonic2391, Circle Valentine, Seka Byakuyatsuski, Byakuyatsuski. Okay, I think I got that. Fire Squire, Adrian Palicki, and Wig Splitter. So, you guys are really good. And may I see many more of you guys here in the many more people out there in these weekly tournaments. So, like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Greatly appreciate it. With all out of the way, this is Mike Gordon, signing out.